Pleasant Waterworks commissioners say they have plans to take down an 87-year-old water tank in the Old Village area of Mount Pleasant. But the community says no. Today, I talk one-on-one with Mount Pleasant Town Council member Gary Santos for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Gary Santos, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you, Quintin. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
You're welcome. This is my first time doing a virtual interview with you.
I know.
And we worked those kinks out on your end just recently. But obviously, you are a member of the Mount Pleasant Town Council, and there is some developing news in regards to a historical structure in the town of Mount Pleasant, and that is obviously the water tank in the King Street area of the Old Village. And this is coming from WCSC. Public Works Commissioners for Mount Pleasant have announced plans to remove an 87-year-old water tank. Mount Pleasant Waterworks said the elevated water tank located at its Old Village water plant on King Street was decommissioned in the 1990s and has served solely as a location for wireless antennas since then. What are those wireless antennas?
Well, that's the cellular antennas for your phones and your computers and all. And that's fine. I mean, Isle of Palms has done the same thing, and I think that's great. But Isle of Palms has taken care of their tank throughout the years, and apparently Waterworks has not. And so now they're saying it has to come down. You know, you talked about earlier. I mean, that's a historic water tank. It's been here before I was born. I remember going down to Alhambra Hall, riding our bikes down there to play baseball or go to boxing practice and all, and we'd pass by that water tank, and it's just a piece of our history. And years ago, we had people that complained about the sweetgrass baskets. They were saying that they were an eyesore, this or that, but we would tell them that's a piece of our history, and you can't just remove that, and because that's what makes Pleasant a special place. It's the sweetgrass baskets and things that have been here for a long time. And if you start chipping away at the things that make you special, then you're just going to become Anywhere USA, and we don't want to.
Do you, Gary, by chance, fear that they're going to just tear this tower down and actually replace it with a cell tower? And if they do, how tall do you fear that?
Well, if you look at what they say, I think it leaves it open for them to be able to do that. Now, we voted against rezoning it for that, but they may get creative and find some other way of doing it. So, the key is they ought to do it like Isle of Palms did it. Just fix the tower and then put the antennas on top of the tower, and everybody wins. We get to keep our historic water tower, and they get to put their antennas on the top. Like I said, next time you go over to the Isle of Palms connector, look at what Isle of Palms has done, and that's what I'd like to do here. And then everybody wins.
Let me ask you this, Gary. When did you learn about this news?
I just recently learned about it, and then that's what's kind of got me concerned. Is that we just found out, and that's terrible. We years ago we had a situation where we've had a couple of our kids under 18 that died in car wrecks, and so we wanted to have a memorial for them, and so we went to Waterworks, and we were looking at right there at Venning Road and Rifle Range Road to put something there to remember these children by. And so we went to Waterworks to talk to them, and of course they said just what they're saying about the water tank here, that they have no money to do it. And so we started doing fundraisers, we started doing a lot of stuff, and the town stepped up and said, listen, we will do all of the plantings, the bushes, the flowers, and everything, landscaping of it, and y'all take care of the fountain. And they agreed to do it. Now look what we have there at that intersection, a beautiful memorial for our kids who've passed away because of the car wrecks, and they have the bricks out there with their names in them, a place where you can sit and
reflect,
think about it, about the kids and all. So it's very successful, and it is proven that if we work together, we can do things. And that's what I want to do. I want to work together with Waterworks to see if we can keep the tower there, the water tank there, and then put the antennas on top, and everybody wins.
Now, how much money is it costing the Waterworks to keep this tower up there in the Old Village?
Well, according to what I saw, they said up to $1 million to refurbish it. But had they just thrown some money at it over these years, they would at least been in better shape, to be able to do more with less money. And so, I'm sorry that they didn't keep it up. They should have. Had I known it back then, I would have certainly brought it up, because you want to make sure that you keep things that are historic to you and your community, especially the African American community down there. You know, Walter Brown Jr. has been a big advocate for keeping it up, and I support him. I think we should keep it up, but I don't know why. I can't tell you why they didn't keep it up for those years, but we certainly need to be able to do something to keep that water tower up, and to keep our history here in Mount Pleasant, so we don't become Anywhere USA.
Let me get to the other side, because Mount Pleasant Waterworks operation manager and soon to be general manager, Alan Plum, says the tank is no longer structurally safe for employees to maintain or for wireless carriers to access equipment. So how are they doing it now?
Well, it's still being done now. I mean, it's like I said, you know, if you don't take care of your car, it's gonna stop. I mean, well, if you don't take care of this tower, throw some money at it yearly or whatever, then certainly it's going to start having issues. And so I think they should have done that throughout the years, and we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But apparently they didn't, and so it's in disrepair. And so now we need to take a look at, can we repair that? Can we fix it up so that we can keep having this tower there, this historic tower that I think many of us believe is historic, and also allow the wireless companies to have their antennas on top, just like Isle of Palms, and then everybody wins. It's a win-win situation for everybody.
Now, according to the Live 5 News article, officials say a temporary communication tower will be built at the site to ensure cellular services are not interrupted and remain in place for 120 days while wireless providers work with town officials to secure a permanent location. Let me ask you this. Would the Mount Pleasant Town Council, that is, approve of this temporary location?
Well, hopefully if it comes before us, we deny it, like we denied the monocle. So I'm hoping that's what will happen, if that's what they want to do. I think they need to come to the table, and they need to come to the table and talk to them and see what we can do.
Yes, sir. And let me ask you this. I know that Mayor Will Haney is actually on the Mount Pleasant Waterworks board. Has he actually talked to anybody in the town, actually in the area of the old village, about this?
Not that I know of. He hadn't talked to me, but he did send us an email supporting them taking it down, which really surprised me. You know, I was shocked that he was so quick to want to take it down without talking to council and seeing what we think about it. So, you know, I guess he's for taking it down, but I do know, like I said before, Walter Brown Jr. and the rest of the folks that live down there have come out and supported us keeping it up. And so, you know, I don't know what else to say, but you know, he just sent us an email telling us, trying to support taking it down, and I think it's sad, because, like I said, if you take down all of the things that make you a historic area, you're just going to look like Anywhere USA, and that's not what we want for Mount Pleasant.
Now, besides you, is there anybody else in Mount Pleasant Town Council who are really against this?
Well, absolutely. I have a couple of them that are meeting with me today that are meeting with Waterworks and the rest of them. So we have a total of 4 council members. We capped it at 4 because you know, we want to hurry up and have this meeting quickly, and we, you know, it won't be a quorum, so that'll be a good thing. But I'm sure there'll be other council members that will want to be a part of it as well. But this was just something I did real fast so that we could get together, let them know where we stand, let them know how we feel about the issue, and see if we can't get them to hold off on tearing this water tank down next month, and see if we can't work with Waterworks and the town to see if you know, we can work together to do something. You know, I don't know whether it's going to happen or not, but you know, if you don't try, if you don't ask, then it won't happen. And then that's why I'm doing this.
And let me ask you hypothetically, Gary, would anybody in the town of Mount Pleasant be willing to create a nonprofit to maintain the structure?
That's a good point. I was talking to my good buddy, Johnny Dodds, about it, and I told him that what we were trying to do, and that I thought about maybe, you know, start doing a fundraiser, and he pulled out his checkbook and wrote me $100 check right off the bat. I mean, you know, Johnny was born and raised here with me, right down the street from me, and he feels the same way I do about, you know, the history of Mount Pleasant and maintaining it. And so, yeah, I think that it would be a very popular thing to be able to do is to raise funds to help support Waterworks in repairing this tank so that we can continue to have it there and the wireless providers can put their antennas on top. That way we have a win-win situation. Everybody's happy and we can go on about being, the fantastic place that we are in Mount Pleasant.
And this might be a crazy question, but if the tower actually is demolited or demolished, I should say, would that cost the town's utility fund any money?
Not the town, it's the Waterworks tower. So, but the thing is, if they take it down, I don't know what they plan on doing with that piece of property. But we clearly were against them putting the monopole there and bringing 5G into the community, which, as you probably know, there's a lot of talk about it causing cancer and things like that. So that's already been voted down. So hopefully council will maintain that so that we can make sure it's safe down there for the citizens who live down there. But I think if they put it up on top of the tank and it's up high, it'll service that whole area down there with communications and like I said, everybody will be happy. They'll keep the old water tower there, and they'll also have the antennas on top, just like they did on Isle of Palms, and it's a win-win for everybody.
And will you all be able to talk with the wireless providers as well in a meeting type format?
Well, the town hasn't talked to them. They've gone through Waterworks to get it up there. But they did come to the town asking for us to change our zoning, and we said no, we weren't going to change it. But they could still, probably put it up on top of the tank instead of putting a monopole there. So, the key is we need further discussions to see what we can do about and hopefully it'll be a win-win situation. But if we don't have discussions, if you don't have meetings about it, if you just come out and say, this is what I'm going to do, I just think that's a terrible thing. We are very citizen-oriented at the town of Mount Pleasant. We like to listen to our citizens. We like to hear what they have to say, and we like to try and do things that make them happy and that keep our history the way it is, And so hopefully Waterworks will do the same thing.
And I wish I can get Mayor Haney on, but he doesn't talk to me. He doesn't do interviews with me, so you're the only one I can talk to.
No, don't feel bad. He doesn't talk to me much either.
He'll be just fine. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here doing interviews for this community. But Gary Santos, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you, Quintin. Always a pleasure talking to you, man.
Likewise.